Hello and welcome to HONOO War in Tokyo, the return of HONOO Pro Wrestling. I'm your host, Rick 9mm. Alongside me is Xemyr. Here's your chance to say your own name, Xemyr.
Xemyr LeBeau, and I don't know why no one else can say my name.
It is his responsibility to say his own name.
Oh, okay, that's the one thing I do here at HONOO Pro.
So here we have Tyson Apollo taking on Bluce. Tonight we have 7 matches. We are kicking things off with Tyson Apollo versus Bluce. The next match, Andronicus Turner versus Ross Cromley. Then a grappler versus wrestler, a grappler versus striker matchup with Todd Mitchell versus Makenzie O'Rourke. Saunders will face Virginia Caldwell. Kai is facing Cadman. There will be a World Heavyweight Championship #1 contendership match between Ricky Backdrop and Davey English. And topping it all off is Richard Richards. He wants his due, and by golly, he might just get it tonight in Tokyo.
I mean, Lukas von Hahn is a great competitor, but he failed the last time for the title, and Richard Richards may be a step above him still.
You know, Xemyr, a new era started in Japan today, the Reiwa era. And maybe, just maybe, this means we're getting a new era of Richard Richards as well.
I mean, here, every competitor here in HONOO Pro might be using this chance to make something of themselves.
Yes, Richard Richards might just have what it takes to ascend to the top, yet he is not the man in that World Heavyweight Championship #1 contendership match.
No, that is Backdrop or English who's going to be the next man to fight the champ. And there's a chance either one of them is our next HONOO champion.
He's got to work his way up, and he's clearly being given that opportunity. But back to this match, we just saw Tyson Apollo throw away so many strikes, throwing them, and then that combo right there. Man, Xemyr.
He's back up pretty fast. Yes?
Man, Xemyr, I'm a little rusty. That was a very long month without HONOO. Wouldn't you agree?
It was a pretty long time, yeah. I forgot it existed. And then they called me and threw me in the back of a van.
Yes, that is why we pay you so much to commentate these shows.
Yes.
And Apollo almost just knocked out Bluce right then and there.
Bluce he was very impressive in the early part of this match with some nice arm work, but has just fallen off against this relentless array of...
And that had to be it. Bluce falls to the almighty Tyson Apollo, a man who could just as easily be in the main event tonight.
Tyson Apollo can take on basically anyone at any time. He's not shown the consistency required to be a top-level contender, but he's beaten most of the names up there.
welcome back to the return of HONOO in Tokyo. And now we have a very special matchup as Andronicus Turner will be having his first pure boxing matchup so far that he's had here in HONOO. Turner is facing Ross Cromley.
And Turner's shown just like impeccable finesse in power as a boxer in his time here at HONOO Pro. But Ross Cromley is just a brute of a man, and you've seen him things like his knockout against Tyson Apollo.
He's got a new haircut. He looks very handsome, wouldn't you agree?
It's not a bad haircut. He wears it well.
So yes, a pure boxing matchup, and this is very notable, as what the? He just busted Andronicus Turner open!
I mean, that Yuriken's an incredible strike.
Yeah, but to just bust him open just like that? You usually don't see that much blood off of just one strike unless you're watching a pro wrestling match. Cromley knows that this is a new season of HONOO, and he knows that he has to show his skill now more than ever to just try and climb up that hierarchy of boxers. But here's Andronicus Turner, who's at the very bottom, and he is still fighting his heart out after that. That blood must be getting in his eyes.
Yeah, after you've been busted open like that, the blood drains in your eyes. You feel like the cold running across your face. It's sapping like your will to fight.
But he is skillfully avoiding it. He knows. He has experienced his lethal weapon firsthand, but Cromley continuing to knock down Andronicus.
A series of European uppercuts right there. They're kind of showy strikes, but they're very impactful.
And a rolling elbow. Jesus. And another Urtican, that could be it.
Just a huge series of strikes.
Saved by the bell? I don't think so. He was already on his knees, and that is just shocking.
That is just pure, like, fighting spirit from Andronicus Turner.
Like, every second he remains in this matchup is just a testament to his strength, that he tried with a wild swing with that Kronk overhand, but it did not hit its target. But Turner with a furious strike rush, knocking out Ross Cromley.
I'm honestly speechless. That was an amazing series of strikes there. On the back foot, barely able to see, and he just lays out Ross Cromley.
That was an amazing matchup. Just only the second matchup on HONOO's return. And Turner has already shown that he is looking to make a name for himself now more than ever. Welcome back to HONOO War in Tokyo, and now we have a great matchup. That's Todd Mitchell. He is the master of the speedrun. You ever seen this man? Have you ever seen this man playing Contra?
No, but I've heard he starts all its matches in second gear, and that's why they're over so fast.
Yes, that's why they call him the master of the speedrun, but while he was playing Contra, she was playing Punch-Out.
I mean, she's definitely inspired greatly by Punch-Out with her small stature and her incredible, honestly, power for her small.
Yes, and just like Punch-Out, whenever she fights, it's the little guy as the underdog, but here is a tale of two underdogs. Todd Mitchell, one of the least successful wrestlers I have ever had the pleasure of meeting, versus Makenzie O'Rourke. She has all the pieces, but they go to different puzzles.
I don't think that's quite fair. Makenzie has shown flashes of brilliance here, and she's shown that she can put it all together. It's just keeping it there for any length of time against a variety of bigger, stronger opponents.
Mitchell almost had her pinned down to the mat.
Mitchell keeps shooting for takedowns here, and he's missing most of them, but he realizes that against a boxer, if he just keeps her on the mat for any length of time, he's got
to lock in these great holds like that full Nelson. Of course, as always, a striker can outpace all those holds. But Mitchell with a spear, Makenzie pops up immediately.
Again, Makenzie, she's very powerful, and she's exceptionally resilient for such a small size. And it might honestly help her with the big strikes like that, because she can just roll through them.
In fact, she is doing a better job at knocking Todd Mitchell down so far, which is very surprising given the size difference. A nice uppercut followed by the round drawing to a close.
That running Superman punch just didn't have enough time left to get it.
Of course, these massive strikes, she is already making up for lost time.
Just a huge couple of punches there.
And another. And Mitchell with the flash wakigatame.
You can't go fast if your gut has been punched into pulp. And that's what Makenzie O'Rourke's trying to do. It's where she can get her best power punches in at a shorter size, so she just goes right for the stomach and weakens them.
Yes, Mitchell has completely failed to take on O'Rourke so far, and O'Rourke with the Superman punch. And another body blow. This is Mitchell's second fall, and this could be his last. But no, he speedruns. He speedruns his way back on his feet.
I didn't realize you could speedrun standing up. I learn new things every time I watch Todd Mitchell.
Yes.
Most of them are new and exciting ways to lose fights.
He is the innovator of disappointment. O'Rourke off the ropes with another Superman punch and a rare victory for Makenzie O'Rourke.
One more stomp for good measure. I mean, honestly, if it was me versus this man, I might have done the same thing.
Welcome back to the HONOO War in Tokyo. Vanessa Saunders, the star kickboxer here in HONOO, will be taking on Virginia Caldwell. Now Saunders has been doing a lot of training lately.
That is entirely accurate, and she has just run through a whole bunch of competitors already, so I shudder to think how impactful this is going to be.
Yes, this could be absolutely frightening to Virginia Caldwell. Like a victim in a slasher movie.
Now, Virginia Caldwell, we do not know much about as a fighter, but there is every chance that she surprises us here against Vanessa Saunders.
Because really, all it takes is that flash knockout, but when it comes to flash knockouts, no one in HONOO is as good as Vanessa Saunders.
Vanessa Saunders will kick your leg out of your leg, and she is trying her best to right now.
Yes, she is giving Virginia Caldwell, those were warning shots. Those land, not many people get up from taking one of those. One of those fierce low kicks.
You normally wouldn't think of a low kick as a knockout move, but she places them perfectly under the knee, you buckle the knee, and you just can't put weight on it to stand back up.
And Saunders with the first fierce low kick. Every single fierce low kick just shaves minutes off the time of their matches.
Like I said, every single one of those strikes is just working on the joint and the tendons in the knee, and it's absolutely excruciating to try to stand up after one.
And it seems Saunders has been orbiting towards that corner a little. If she can get Caldwell trapped to that corner, of course Caldwell is obviously seeming to learn from Saunders, actively learning and analyzing this strategy. As she pins Saunders down, but Saunders immediately lifts Caldwell up.
Saunders isn't an expert in the ground game by any means, but after fighting for so long in Ono, you learn just the basics of takedown defense.
Jesus.
And that's what we saw there.
That might have been a 10 count if the bell hadn't rang.
Yeah, those were brutal kicks to end the round.
And Caldwell has begun to aim for Vanessa Saunders' leg.
That's really a great play here, because if you aim for her legs, you're slowing her down, you're knocking a little bit of the impact off of each one of these kicks, and generally you were just making a kickboxer's life very hard. She
has realized that she has to start grappling with Caldwell, because that is the only area Saunders does not have much experience in.
Yeah, in a stand-up fight, I don't think you can take anyone but
another
Saunders.
Massive kick from Vanessa Saunders. This could be. And no, Caldwell up at the 6 count, but immediately goes back to working on Saunders' legs.
It was a nice jumping leg bar there.
And Saunders again down on the mat. This has to be working just a bit, but remember, any one of these kicks could be the end for Caldwell.
Yes, Caldwell is showing some impressive offense here and working on those legs, but I think it might be too little too late at this point with all of these.
Yes, because that next time Caldwell is down will be the last. Unless she makes it till the end of round 2, but that is very unlikely. That is impossible. Saunders has won yet another match.
Saunders again comes in here, executes her game plan, uses these exceedingly powerful kicks, and just takes down Caldwell. Caldwell showed flashes of what she needed to do, but it just wasn't enough.
Yes, it was a good showing by Caldwell, but when you're in the ring with Vanessa Saunders, just victory is very hard to attain. Welcome back to HONOO War in Tokyo. I'm your host, Brick 9mm. Alongside me, the other voice is Xemyr. Hi, Xemyr.
Hello, Brick. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fine. But you know who's not doing fine? It's Victor Kai, the man who would be leading the charge against the AWF if it had begun airing, but it will start airing soon. Yes, the AWF, it's pronounced off. Mr. Monopoly's renegade boxing promotion, the street fighting promotion. He will take the world by storm with his AWF, with the off. That is depending on how long he can run. With Victor Kai on the loose, the only man who has ever defied Mr. Monopoly and lived to talk about it. Of course, generally, he prefers to talk about in Japanese.
I mean, lots of people have defied Mr. Monopoly, but I don't know if any of them have been as scary as Victor Kai.
Yes, Victor Kai he presumably retired because of Mr. Monopoly, but here he is again fighting old rival Ian Cadman, who is doing a great job. Did you see all those low kicks?
They're great low kicks, honestly.
In the coming weeks, Victor Kai may be facing a lot of competitors from the AWF, but here there is no score to settle. It is just a friendly match between two old rivals, as friendly as kicking each other's heads in can get.
You see, most MMA fights are about the competition. These competitors are trying their best to win, but there is generally a feeling of friendship amongst most of them because they've all been training for the same thing. There is no way in the world that Victor Kai will ever show that level of mercy to the people of the AWF.
Yes, the OFF is a renegade street fighting federation. I hear they put homicidal maniacs in boxing gloves and have them fight in just dingy halls. Of course, Twitch will get its first taste of the AWF sometime this week.
Going into round 2, both of these competitors have been showing their different styles. Victor Kai is a little bit more of a brute than Cadman. Cadman works on the legs, but neither of them have shown a clear advantage here.
Yes, a great performance by Ian Cadman too. Did you see all these kicks he is getting in? In fact, he might be doing better than Victor Kai.
In frequency of strikes, Cadman is winning, but Victor Kai is just a very powerful man, and each of his strikes seems to land with a little bit more weight, like that punch that just knocks Cadman back a whole 3 feet.
And that massive spinning kick. That's the kind of thing that could decapitate a man, and there it is again. He is beginning to try and take down Cadman, but Cadman still has those great low kicks. Cadman tried to get him from the back, but Victor Kai says no, and they enter into an exchange of strikes.
Just a game of one-upsmanship there. Kai wins, but Cadman is immediately back up with two series of huge strikes.
This is a slugfest, but with two men like this, I can't see it ending any other way but that. I was about to say, this cannot end any other way but a knockout, and there it is.
Just incredible placement from Cadman with that strike.
A great performance by Ian Cadman, but Victor Kai is no slouch either.
Again, both of these competitors were fighting for one shot. It could have gone either way after this point.
Welcome back to HONOO War in Tokyo, and it is now time for our co-main event. Ricky Backdrop will take on Davey English, and the winner of this match will go on to face HONOO World Heavyweight Championship Danny Thorpe. World Heavyweight Champion Danny Thorpe.
No, he has become a sentient championship now. This is his only claim to existence. On a more serious note, both Ricky Backdrop and Davey English have shown that they are capable of fighting at the very top level of HONOO.
Yes,
and the winner of this... Go ahead.
This is a matchup more significant than one could believe if they haven't been following HONOO like a hawk. because these men were at opposite sides of the HONOO GP bracket, and this will be their first time meeting each other in a singles matchup.
Both of these men went very far into the GP, and this is their first chance to climb back to the very top after that crushing defeat on both ends.
Yes, these are two fighters who almost held the HONOO World's Heavyweight Championship. Now, Danny Thorpe has been having quite a good reign so far after defeating the now suspended Wild Mike and Lukas von Hahn.
Danny Thorpe has just been absolutely dominating against anyone since he's held that belt, and even before. It's going to take an incredible athlete or a stroke of luck to get that title off of him.
Yes, this is a very interesting matchup. Both of these men are wrestlers, and they're pacing themselves. They're pacing themselves very, very deliberately here. It can only be expected from two fighters of this caliber, but Davey English is finding very, very good opportunities to take Ricky Backdrop down to the mat. Of course, both these fighters have carved out their legacy with unpredictable suplexes, and it just seems like Ricky Backdrop has not gotten the opportunity yet to try any of them.
You can see Backdrop...
And that just changed!
I was going to say he's been waiting for his moment, and there it was, just an impeccable belly-to-back suplex.
And Davey English responds with a suplex of his own, taking Backdrop down to the mat. Backdrop counters! Another belly-to-back suplex! This is insane! Backdrop has shifted into overdrive. And he's pinning English down, pile driver.
This is absolutely brutal.
Davey English is going to need all the luck in the world. After you take that many belly-to-back suplexes and a backdrop like that, you need more than technique.
No, this is no longer a technique fight. To knock Backdrop off at this point, you were just going to need brute force, some shot that he cannot get up from.
That dropped right on his head. If he gets up, I'll be shocked. And he does not. Ricky Backdrop is the #1 contender to the HONOO World's Heavyweight Championship.
And he came out here with something to prove, obviously, because that was a dismantling.
Yes, that was a brutal matchup from Ricky Backdrop. is now time for our HONOO War in Tokyo main event, the kickoff show for the War Tour. Here we have Richard Richards, the man who is on the poster. Richards has made a declaration of war against everyone in HONOO, but most of all, the HONOO World Heavyweight Championship. He is determined to rise through the ranks. And the man he will face in the main event of this first show, kicking off the tour, is Lukas von Hahn. He's fought him before, and now it is time for them to meet again.
Lukas von Hahn is coming off of a crushing defeat, obviously, for the HONOO World Heavyweight Championship, and this is both men's chance to prove that they still deserve, or do deserve, in Richard Richards' case, to be in the upper echelon of HONOO competition.
Of course, with a guy like Richard Richards, he just... Oh, Jesus! What the hell?
Oh my... That was...
What the...
Snapped his leg. Immediately, von Hahn goes for a back... takes the back and just gets countered into a leg bar.
It's
over.
I am speechless. 50 seconds in, Richard Richards, he declared war on HONOO, and he will, by golly, he will take this promotion by storm in this era, this third tour in HONOO history. Jesus, Xemyr.
It was absolutely ridiculous. I don't know if we've ever had a match in that quickly before.
Well, that was insane. And, well, okay, I guess that's all we have tonight. Thank you for watching this first show of the War Tour. Stay tuned next week. Stay tuned sometime in the coming days for the debut of the AWF. I'm Brick 9mm. He's, not saying his name. Come on, Xemyr.
I'm Xemyr LeBeau.
Yeah, he's Xemyr.
Thank you guys for watching.
Yeah, thanks for watching. Good night.